was worth keeping. So you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. So you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. You thought I was worth saving. Ooh, yeah.
Like a teenager and all cavalier, it's time to have the talk. And you know that, you know the talk, right? Everybody has had the talk about the birds and the bees, the hawks and the hornets. Childhood, adolescence, puberty, that talk. Only after they have the talk, Daddy Hooper says that he'll have the State Farm agent add the son to the car insurance. They had to have the talk. This commercial reminded me of a book that we used to have the talk with our children as they were entering puberty. We used a book written by Peter Maylay, Paul Waters, and Arthur Robbins entitled What's Happening to Me. The book was an illustrated guide to puberty. It discussed the mental and physical changes that take place during puberty. From ages 9 through 13, sisters and brothers, nature takes us from children to adulthood. Nothing that we do, it is a natural process and very much a part of the naturally ordained order that God had brought out of the chaos when God spoke order into existence. It's like winter, summer, spring, or fall. They come without us doing anything about it. They come whether we want them to come or not. It's like night and day. They come. We can't stop the night from coming, and we can't stop the day from coming as well. We found that the book made the talk or the conversation with our children about the facts of life easier. One parent who used the same book and wrote a review about it went on to say that the book helped them to talk about the embarrassing stuff. Some stuff parents don't really like to talk to their children about, and certainly there's a lot of stuff children don't necessarily like to talk to their parents about. I wish I had a witness. Yeah, the embarrassing stuff like pimples, stuff like sweating, stuff that just makes us embarrassed. Wet dreams, erections, breast development, pubic hair, menstrual cycles, the widenings of hip, the changing in the voices of both sexes. One day you called your little boy to come out of the room, and when he comes out, and he said, yes. And you wonder what happened to that little 8-pound, 3-ounce baby that you were in labor for about 34 hours, and you fed and you nurtured, and now you are having to look up to him and go in the bathroom after him and clean up where he has had to shave. Another parent said that the book demystified everything about the changes in the male and the female body, from childhood to adulthood. Without any help from us, brothers and sisters, nature changes us from children to adults to produce more children. In boys, the hormone testosterone produces broader shoulders and chests, and deeper voices, and pubic hair, and genitalia growth, and wet dreams, and pimples, and blackheads. According to another parent, the book helped explain those things that can be confusing and embarrassing for parents to talk about with their children. It helped parents to talk to their children about the things they never talk about but wish they had. Well, there are some things in your life you wish you had talked to your parents about before you did them. Just keep looking this way, amen. Just keep that nice countenance on your face, and we will say, Lord, have mercy together. One of the challenging things is moving through adolescence is that children don't necessarily want to ask their parents for advice because they want the parents to know that they are responsible, so they make their own decisions, and usually those are uninformed decisions that turn out to be bad decisions. And we listen to peers before we listen to parents. And then sometimes we just feel as though we just can't talk to our parents. Mama, you just don't understand. Daddy, you just don't understand. Times are different and things have changed. And I think the mistake we make when we make those kinds of statements is that we fail to realize that our parents have been where we are. They have gone through what we're going through, a different time, a different day, but yet still the same thing. Wish that they had talked to their children about. The illustrations and the instructions in the book help us to have that talk with our children when the time came. And sisters and brothers, the time will come. It is inevitable. That time will come. Those little babies will grow up. Those grandchildren will graduate from kindergarten, from elementary school, from junior high, from high school. Times will change. They will not stand still, whether we would want them to or not. The instructions and the illustrations in the book help us to have the talk with our children when the time came. And this is the image that comes to my mind when I read this text. The Lord instructed Joshua to take 12 men, one from each tribe of Israel, for each man to take a stone out of the midst of the Jordan where the feet of the priests had stood, and place them on the other side of the Jordan. Instruct them, the Lord said, that the stones might be a sign that when your children ask their fathers, what do these stones mean? Yeah, then they could have the talk. When the children ask the fathers, why are these stones here? What mean ye these stones? The fathers can then have the talk. Yeah, he instructed them to do as the Lord had said, and the men of Israel did as Joshua said. Joshua prepared the fathers for the talk. Usually, more times than not, the reason why we don't have the talk with our children is because we're not prepared for that talk. Joshua prepared the fathers to have the talk. In verses 1 through 5, he received the instructions from the Lord, preparing the fathers for the talk. They were to take the stones from the midst of the Jordan where the feet of the priests had stood and place them on the other side. The talk, sisters and brothers, is inevitable. It will come whether we want it to come or not. The question is who will your children have the talk with? It's not whether or not they're going to have the talk. They're going to have the talk. The question is, who are they going to have it with? Are they going to have it with their knucklehead friends who don't know any more than they know? Or are they going to have it with us, their parents and their guardians and their grandparents who love them and who care for them and who will do anything and everything for them? Oh, I wish I had a witness this morning. The talk is inevitable. Some parents pretend that if they don't have the talk with their children, then the children won't talk. That's not true. The talk is inevitable. The question is, who will they have the talk with? You have to be prepared for the talk. Find the resources that you need to be able to address those things that perhaps make you uncomfortable and make you embarrassed. But to be able to share, the resources are available. The talk is coming whether we want it or not. It is coming whether we are prepared for it or not. But nature is such that it necessitates the talk. The signs demands the talk. Just as the physical changes occur in the body during puberty, so does changes occur in the psychic and the spirit. So when the children see the stones, Joshua says in verse 6, they will ask, what do these stones mean? The signs demand the talk. As children mature and they grow, they will ask what is going on. What is going on with them in their bodies and how their lives are changing. Just as it happens in the physical, it also happens in the mental and the spiritual. As they see things that are transpiring in our lives, as they see how we handle challenges, as they see how we handle trouble, as they see how we handle sickness, as they see how we handle pain and sorrow and death, they see the signs and they want to know how. Prepare for the talk. Then Joshua encouraged these fathers to talk. The signs are an opportunity to talk. One of the things in this day and age that is so unfortunate, when I was growing up, Sister Janice, we didn't have but one television in the house. And it was black and white. And it was in the den. And I was the remote control. Aaron, I had to get up and go change the channel whenever it needed to be changed. There was no remote control. There was a dial on the channel that we turned, and I was the remote control. Change the television. And it wasn't but 3 stations, ABC, NBC, CBS. And when the weather was good, occasionally we would get Fox. There was no ESPN, MSBN, ABC, EFD. No IMAX, no YouTube, no any of that. No. No HBO, no ESPN, no on demand, no Skinner Max, no nothing, none of that. No. But in a sense,